All right, guys, how's it going? Hope you guys are doing well. Um, I had some trouble tonight getting the live stream on my own Facebook, so we're on local 12 right now, the WKRC TV page. We're on the YouTube, my YouTube, and also on other platforms. How you doing? Hope everybody's doing well. Um, let's get into it. Talk about the storm that's on the way. And um, been here at Local 12. Goodness, it's been over 20 years now. And the modeling that we're looking at with this thing shows this one probably being one of the big ones that I've dealt with over the years. Maybe not the biggest, maybe the biggest. That remains to be seen, but at least one of the bigger ones is what we're looking at with this one. So let's get into it. I'm going to pull up some graphics here. And this is a graphic, boy, this is a graphic that's near and dear to my heart. My good buddy Tim Hedrick had a graphic in one iteration or another, the way he used this over the years. And he would have three categories for winter storms in Cincinnati: a nuisance, a shoveler, and the all rare paralyzer. And so this one puts a smile on my face. So please indulge me and let me use this one. So we know this is not going to be a nuisance. Maybe a high end shoveler. No, I think we're firmly in what we would title the paralyzer range with this one. And in one way, I guess it's good that it's coming on a weekend. Good for most people that don't have to work weekends, except for me, who usually is off weekends, but who will be working all weekend. So this one's going to create the type of snow that's going to push municipalities to their limit as far as snow removing abilities. So when does the snow start? It's going to start really light. It's not going to be heavy at first. This is going to be a really light snow that begins Saturday. So if you're in our southern counties, you can see the first flakes fly by late morning, but it's going to be very light. It's going to take a while for the atmosphere to saturate. So this moisture that's coming in, it's going to be fighting very dry air at the surface. So if you have your Weather Authority app and you're looking at radar here, you're probably going to see returns on radar on your app before you see any snowflakes flying out your window or outside, because it'll be snowing aloft, and that snow will be sublimating, or basically going from a solid to water vapor above our heads before it reaches the ground, at least initially. So you're going to see it on radar before it actually reaches the ground. And then eventually what happens is the whole column of the atmosphere from the surface all the way up saturates. And when that happens, boom, it's like flipping a switch and you begin to see snow coming down. So that's going to take a while. That process is going to take a while. But late morning to early afternoon, you may see the first flakes in our southern counties. And then coming into the Cincinnati metro around the 275 loop, we're talking early to mid-afternoon. Might even be late afternoon in some of the northern parts of the purple shaded area here. Areas closer to the Ohio River will be first to see a little bit of light snow. And then if you're in the far north, I mean, boy, you've got, probably until later in the afternoon before you really begin to see any snow falling, 3 to 5. So if you're thinking in your mind right now, okay, I need to go do this, I need to go do that, you're good in the morning, you're good in the early afternoon, and by late afternoon, that's when the snow starts. Now, if you're a person that says, you know what, I don't mind driving in a little snow. I don't mind if there's a little snow that's out there. If the roads start to get a dusting, I could still go do my thing. I'll just be careful. If you fall into that category, then you know what? Maybe you can go have an early dinner out tomorrow night, and especially if it's close to home, and get back and not have too many issues, especially in the north. I think in the south, it might be a little more touchy to do that. But the bottom line is, during the daylight hours Saturday, the issues are going to be minor. It's not until Saturday evening that we start to see the issues kind of going downhill. So Saturday morning, life as normal. Well, maybe not as normal because we're all prepping for this storm, but it's a dry start. It's certainly cold, bitter cold, sub-zero wind chills, single-digit readings tomorrow morning. And then by Saturday night, we start to see conditions go downhill. So light snow starts in the afternoon, and then it gets heavier after sunset. Not heavy per se, but heavier. That's when the roads turn snowy. We begin to see the slick spots developing. And then it picks up Saturday night after midnight. The heaviest is going to come, it looks like, Sunday morning. So that's when I wouldn't want to be on the roads. Roads will deteriorate even more. I'm going to call it difficult travel at best. We could see some snowfall rates of an inch or two per hour. And when you get those type of snowfall rates, essentially what happens is the snow comes down so fast, even if we're out plowing it, the plow goes by, it's better, but then the snow accumulates again really fast. And it's just so hard for the road crews to keep up when we've got snowfall rates like that. Snow continues through Sunday. It will wind down after sunset Sunday night. So in the evening, we expect it to wind down. I'll show you a model depiction of that coming up. But the roads are going to stay just a horrible mess right on through Monday. Speaking of that, there's our road condition forecast. So snow develops Saturday. We'll put the yellow light up for late day, but really it's in the evening that we will turn from yellow to red. And we stay red Sunday and we stay red Monday. With the amount of snow coming, I mean, residential streets, side streets, they're not going to get those for a while. It's going to be a while. So I expect school closures Monday everywhere. I'd be surprised if any schools are open on Monday. Maybe there's somebody hardcore where they do a great job, and then I expect a lot of school closures Tuesday too. And particularly across northern Kentucky, we could see schools out all of next week, most of next week, with the conditions coming. All right, let's talk about what's going on tonight. Arctic air settled in. We actually hit our high today in the morning. We've been falling ever since. Arctic cold front, you see the edge of it there down through the Carolinas, Virginia. That came through early this morning. Got a wind chill of 3 below in Cincinnati. And now you can see on our little sidebar there, Lebanon's at 9 now. Those temperatures are falling quick. So Arctic air over us. There is the mess of moisture that is down over the desert Southwest and in Texas now. So snow's developing in Kansas and Texas and Oklahoma. Wintry mess south of there. Freezing rain. That's just, I'm so glad we're not going to be in that freezing rain. Ice storm warnings in purple. Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, up into Tennessee, Georgia, Carolinas, ice storm warnings. Some spots could see an inch of ice accumulation or more. Man, it's going to be devastating to the power grid where that happens. So I'm thankful, really thankful we're not dealing with that. North of that's the winter storm warnings in pink. They run through New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas, little touch of Mississippi there, Tennessee, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia, North Carolina, Delaware, Maryland, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York, Vermont, over into Massachusetts. So you get the picture. And then the winter storm watches up in Maine. Those will flip over to warnings eventually. This is massive, this whole thing. So let's give you the big picture of how this thing evolves. Let's stop at tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, snow breaking out heavy, Missouri, Arkansas, Tennessee. It begins to edge our way tomorrow afternoon and then overspreads our area tomorrow evening. And then we see some of the heaviest into Sunday morning. You can see those darker bands Sunday morning. It persists through the day Sunday, just relentless Sunday, not tapering off to the end of the day Sunday. So by Sunday evening, you see it moving out of the picture there. And there's going to be a swath of extremely heavy snowfall running from New Mexico through Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, through Kentucky, southern Indiana, southern Ohio, and extending right up into the major cities in the Northeast, New York, Boston. They're eventually going to get hammered. I'm thankful we're not in the ice There's the ice, baby. Bad ice to the south of us. There could be a little tiny glaze that happens in our far southeastern counties, but it's not going to really make any difference on the impacts around here. Winter storm warning starts at 10 o'clock Saturday morning, runs through noon on Monday. I think they've given themselves a little pad there starting at late Saturday morning. There could be some flurries flying down south by 10 a.m., but don't see any big issues. All right, here's the high-resolution data, and we're going to get some more of this in later tonight, so I'm going to have it on Star 64 at 10 o'clock and Local 12 at 11, but it's the high-resolution modeling. So look at how we're in the single digits tomorrow morning. Arctic air in place. So for big snowstorms in the Ohio Valley, you got to have entrenched Arctic air so you don't get into those precipitation type issues. Now, that said, we could get some sleet in our southern counties by Sunday morning. But there we are by noon on Saturday. Maybe some flakes flying in our southern viewing area. And then by 3, 4 o'clock, we've got light snow overspreading the south there, where we see the darker blue shadings. Where the white is, Cincinnati points north. It's either nothing or some very light snowflakes coming down. But then into the evening, it quickly all spreads to the north. So that's why I'm saying be home by dark in the south. In the north, you may be able to cheat that a little bit. But by the early evening, we got snow coming down just about everywhere. It is light at this point. It's going to pick up after midnight. From Cincinnati north. It'll pick up a little before midnight, Cincinnati south. You can see some of those darker bands through northern Kentucky there by midnight on Sunday. And then we see those bands moving through. Now, here's the interesting thing. It's Sunday morning that we see the amount of lift by the jet stream maximized over the tri-state. And this is the time period, Sunday morning, when we may see some of our heaviest snowfall rates, maybe an inch or more per hour in parts of the tri-state. And you can see how that banding kind of sets up 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. This model has the banding setting up southeast of Cincinnati. So those spots may pick up a little more snow conceivably, and that's reflected in our forecast. But you can see through the morning, snow's pretty heavy, even some good steady snow into the afternoon. That's as far as our high-resolution model goes out now through 1 o'clock on Sunday. So how much snow? A lot. I really like to show this because it not only gives you an idea of how much, it gives you an idea of what the possibilities are beyond the forecast. So it's a slam dunk for more than 4 inches. We've got that pegged at 95%. More than 6 inches, we've got it 80%. So half foot of snow, really good chance we're all going to see that. How about 8 inches plus? We got that, and this is for Cincinnati around the 275 loop. We got that for 70%. 10 plus, 50-50 on that now. Could there be a foot? Could there be 14 plus? Yes, there could be, but there's a lower probability of that based on all the data sets that we look at. So any way you look at, going to be a lot of snow. There's your winter storm warning. That was the probabilistic forecast. This is the deterministic forecast. So I want to know how much in my backyard forecast. Where you see the dashed lines there, the hash marks down to the south and southeast, that's where some ice pellets could conceivably mix in. This forecast assumes that there's not much sleet. There's just a little. So I've got areas down there sitting at a 9 to 13 inch snowfall. If no sleet mixes in at all down there, you're going to be closer to a foot or above, I think. If some sleet mixes in, you're probably going to be toward the lower end of that maybe. But it depends on how much sleet or ice pellets actually mixes in. For most of the tri-state, we've got it in an 8 to 12 inch range. I'm feeling good about a 10 plus for the area. Could it go above 12? Abso-frickin-lutely. It could. It could. That's a possibility. And then up to the north and west, I've got a 7 to 11. This is splitting hairs. I mean, it doesn't matter if you get, 7 inches or 9 inches or a foot. Impacts are going to be about the same. And that's what I painted here on this map. Major impacts for everyone. I even considered maybe talking extreme impacts for where we might see a foot or more. But again, I think that's just kind of splitting hairs at this point with the whole thing. So could you see, more than that? Yeah, it's possible. But it's major impacts any way you slice and dice it tonight, my friends. And again, I want to show the numbers again. Everybody wants numbers, because we're trying to figure out what are the impacts going to be. And yeah, these are going to be some pretty major impacts. I want to show you something else here. Let me pull up another graphic here real quick. These are our biggest one-day snowfall totals for Cincinnati, for the official climate site in Cincinnati, whether it's been the International Airport, whether it's been the observatory, whether it has been the rooftop of the Weather Service downtown, the Weather Bureau. These are the official numbers. So you might say, oh, what about the storm in 2000? I remember that. It was up to my waist or whatever. These are official gauges. And as you know, snowfall varies widely in some storms over the area. But the biggest one-day official measurement for Cincinnati, 11.8 inches, February 4th, 1998. The biggest, the second biggest, 1996, January 7th, 11.6. 1917, 11 inches. So officially in Cincinnati, for a one-day snowfall, we've never seen a foot officially for a one-day snowfall in Cincinnati. What about two-day snowfalls? Let me load that up right now. So there's the two-day snowfalls. And again, you can see the 98, 96 events are right there. So 98, 18.3, again, officially for Cincinnati, 14.4 in 96, 11.5 in 1917, 1978, 11.3, and 11 in 1910. So that gives you an idea of the official stuff in Cincinnati. And folks always ask me, what about the blizzard of 78? Well, it wasn't much snow at all. It was the drifts and the wind. And that's the other thing with this one. Somebody asked me today on our newsroom call, is this going to be a blizzard? Is it? No, because we don't have the wind that we need for a blizzard. The blizzard is defined on it's cold and you can't see because the snow's moving all around. It has nothing to do with how much snow falls. So no, not a blizzard with this one, but again, a big snow. And if you're just joining me, when's the snow start? I'm going to throw this map up again. It's light snow 11 to 1 across the south. It is light snow 1 to 3 in the middle and 3 to 5 in the north. Very light. I don't expect huge impacts right away. It's going to be more after dark is when those impacts get going. So I hope this gives you guys an idea. And again, let me put this up again, kind of a rough idea of what we're looking at. This is a big one. It's a big one. Is it going to miss us? No, I don't think it's going to miss us. This one is a certainty to wreak havoc over the area. And so your travel goes downhill Saturday night, bad travel Sunday, bad travel Monday, especially early on in the day. Some areas will get cleaned up as Monday goes on. But yeah, I think we're going to have impacts on the roads, especially residential side streets, right on through, next week, maybe Tuesday of next week. In rural areas, impacts are going to last well on into the middle of next week, it looks like. So, big snow. Boy, I hope you guys stay safe. We're going to be here, all weekend long. I'll be here all weekend long. We have a big football game on this weekend. We won't be interrupting that. Can guarantee you that. We're not going to touch that. But we'll continue to give you information. We'll do it on YouTube. We'll do it on Facebook. We'll do it on TV as we can around the other stuff that we got running on Local 12 throughout the weekend. Got basketball tomorrow too. So we don't want to touch that. We want you to enjoy your sports and your programming on Local 12, and we'll try to reach you other ways, like here on the Facebook and on the YouTube and through other platforms, local12.com. Of course, one of the ways we keep, and if you got the Local 12 Weather Authority app too, download that app, and we update that here in our weather office. It's not done by AI or computers or anything like that. So we manually do everything on that too. So we'll keep you updated through the means of the app as well. But thank you guys for joining me on this Friday evening. I hope you guys, my dream scenario, if I weren't working, if I weren't a meteorologist and this storm were coming at me, I'd be like, all right, we're going to hunker down and hang out and have some good family time all weekend long and, stay in, stay off the roads. I might try to get to dinner, an early dinner tomorrow, maybe out, especially in the north where the snow holds off a little longer. But I just hunker down and stay safe. And, if you don't have to risk it, don't risk it on the road, especially Sunday morning, just with the snowfall rates we're looking at, it does not look good there. So, but I hope you guys all stay safe. I hope you guys, are able to stay home and stay out of this weather because that's a lot of snow for our area here. Some other parts of the country, a foot, it's like, it's a foot. We'll get it taken care of. But here, that kind of snow can mess things up if we get that much. And we certainly could, depending on how all this stuff evolves. So anyway, guys, I'm going to get off here. My stomach is growling. Need to get some food. Haven't had a whole lot of anything to eat all day, so need to get some food. Anyway, appreciate you guys more than you can imagine. Even the people that think we're hyping. And I'll tell you what, we're not hyping. This storm is not a storm that needs hype. Just the facts of what this is enough. This does not need hype at all. So no, we don't. And contrary to popular belief, no, I do not get paid by Kroger anymore. They cut me off a long time ago from those extra paychecks. I heard the shelves were bare in a lot of stores today. Speaking of that, doesn't surprise me. All right, guys, take care. I'll see you at 10 o'clock over on Star 6411 on Local 12, and I'll try to share more stuff on social media. Although this is kind of my main means of communicating via social media once we get into big weather, is just doing these lives. I don't post a whole lot of extra stuff because I don't have a lot of time to do it. All right, take care.